Food for thought. Be the person that you need in the moment. Whether it's a friend, whether it's you need a hug, whether you just need someone to talk to, someone to listen, be that for yourself. Not every single person is going to be there for you. And sometimes when you even do have a support system, they aren't always there for you in the way that you need them to be. And that's when you have to lean on yourself. That you have to dig deep and try to find what you need. Because sometimes you need a hug. And only somebody certain can give you that hug. But then they're not here. So then you have to give yourself a hug. Like literally and physically give yourself a hug. And then sometimes you just need a sounding board. Somebody who will logic through things for you. Someone who will listen to your thoughts. Listen to every crazy idea that you have. And then other times, you need somebody just to comfort you. To listen. And to talk with you through those things. But then you have to be that person for yourself. You might seem crazy, you might seem like you're like, oh my gosh, why am I talking to myself? But sometimes you just have to ask yourself, why am I feeling blank? Why am I feeling mad? Maybe it's because you don't feel like you have freedom. Maybe that's because you feel like your jab's overtaking your life. Maybe you feel like it's because X, Y, and Z. Because when you keep asking yourself deeper and deeper questions, then you can figure out what you're feeling. Then you can figure out how you're going to get through this moment bit by bit. Sometimes it might feel so heavy that you don't know what you're going to do next, that you have to plan out something X, Y, and Z. And that is a telltale sign that you feel like you're out of control. That when you feel like it's a necessity to have every single thing planned out in your day, because that's the only thing that you have control of. And sometimes you recognizing that is how you're there for yourself. Sometimes when you recognize that you're spiraling is when you need to take a step back. Because no one's gonna know that you are spiraling. No one's gonna know what you're truly feeling. Everybody might think that you're fine. Everybody might think that your life is perfect. But the thing is, it's only inside. And you're the only one who knows what's going on. And so then that's why it's so important to be there for yourself. And so, for example, if you realize that you are just going over and over and over and over and over again, something continually, it's kind of like a distraction of what's in the moment. And sometimes when you distract yourself, you can avoid something. You can avoid what you're feeling. You can avoid how you would rather be somewhere else. But then once you're out of that distraction, once you're no longer feeling that, then you come back to the present. And you have to know yourself well enough to know when you are trying to avoid something. And sometimes you have to call yourself out. Sometimes you have to be like, hey, I'm doom scrolling. I am doing something excessively. I am doing blank because I know that I'm trying to avoid something. You and I do different things to avoid certain tasks, certain responsibilities, certain feelings. And that's normal. But we have to be there for ourselves to call ourselves out. We have to be able to keep ourselves accountable. I just got like a lightning notification. But we have to be there for ourselves even when it's hard. Because sometimes when we know we have certain behaviors that we know that occur when we are trying to avoid something, sometimes we have to be our best friend and to call ourselves out and to not do that. Because impulsively, sometimes we do certain things because our mind wants to do something else. We need that dopamine hit. We need something else to fill ourselves. But deep down, is that what we truly want? Is that truly what we want? And a good friend would ask you to another friend, is this truly deep down what you want? Or am I just trying to have a quick dopamine hit? And whatever it is, it's most likely no. Because our human psychology, I'm not gonna act like I'm an expert, but just from human life and human experience, we want dopamine to distract us and help us get through hard times in life. But that's only a distraction for a little bit, and then we realize where we are in the moment. And sometimes that's a hard pill to swallow. But the thing is that we have to do is we just have to continue. Even when we don't want to support ourselves, even when we don't want to do this and do that, we have to. We have to take care of ourselves, because we would take care of our friend who is hurting. We would take care of our loved one who is in pain. We would take care of our dog if they were sick. And we should not treat ourselves any differently, because we are special. We are so special and deserve so much love and so much care from not only other people, but most importantly from ourselves. And when we aren't able to give that to ourselves, I don't want this to sound so heavy, but we let ourselves down, because we would never let our friend down. So why would we let ourselves down? And so it's so important to realize and remember that we need to be there for ourselves. And sometimes being there for ourselves is being our own cheerleader, being our biggest supporter, and telling ourselves that, yeah, this sucks, and letting every single negative thought fly through your head, because you can't stop negative thoughts all the time. You just can't. And it's normal to have negative thoughts, but you are not your thoughts, though, that are negative. You are all your positive thoughts, but you're none of your negative thoughts. You're not dumb, you're not stupid, you're not fat, you're not ugly, you're not too sensitive, you're not too extroverted, you're just enough. And being able to realize that, and being able to uplift ourselves and to be positive and to support ourselves like we would someone else, is not only important, but it is necessary to continue. And I want you to know, life is hard. Being in your head is really hard. And having those negative thoughts about yourself that this didn't go right, yada yada yada, oh my gosh, so-and-so said this, they did this, they told me this, they acted this way, a random stranger made me feel bad. Yeah, I'm sorry. Give yourself a hug. Tell yourself that you can continue. Because maybe that person is having a bad day, so then they take it out on us, and then it just makes us have a worse day. But that worst day, domino effect, stops with us. Because we first must take care of ourselves. I'm going to say this a million times, that we must take care of ourselves so we do not repeat that cycle of lashing out on other people. Because we don't want it done to us, so we don't do it to others, and we stop it at us by taking care of ourselves. And even when it's hard, even when we don't want to, we should. We really should. Because yes, someone can make you food. Yes, someone can do this for you. But when they're gone, you have to take care of yourself and be your best friend. And honestly, and be your biggest supporter. Food for thought.